Hello, it's Veganuary day 13, and today I want to address a little bit of a sticky subject for new vegans, and that is that you still find the smell of meat or animal products delicious. And some new vegans will say to me, yeah, but I still think that pizza smells really nice and I still really want some. Am I a bad vegan? Okay, just want to address this today because some people seem to think that people turn vegan because they don't like the taste of meat or they don't like the taste of cheese, or they don't like the flavour. That is probably the least common reason why people are vegan. It's not to say it couldn't be a reason why, but for most of us that's just simply not the case. I never had any issues with the flavours of most meats. I was never a fan of pork. I found it a bit too close to what I assumed human flesh tasted like. But no, it's completely normal. You know, if you smell like pizza cooking, like you can smell someone's having a pepperoni pizza and you can smell the cheese and the pepperoni, and especially if you're very early into going vegan or vegetarian, yes, you may well smell it and think, oh, that smells delicious. Oh my God, I wanted some. Does that make me a bad person? Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad vegan. It makes you human. Okay, just because you like the smell of something doesn't mean that you're not vegan. As long as you're still following, your lifestyle, you're still vegan. Okay, you made a decision for whatever reason. It may have been an environmental one, it may have been a health one, it may have been an ethical one, but you made a decision not to consume animal products, not to exploit animals anymore. And if you're not eating it, then yeah, you're still vegan. Okay, you're not a bad vegan for enjoying the smell of it cooking when someone else cooks it, or thinking, oh, actually, that smells quite nice. That's okay, all right? Probably your whole life, you were brought up and you lived your whole life eating those things, and so your body automatically starts to salivate when it smells that because it thinks, oh, food. Okay, your body's been trained to think that that's food and to find that delicious, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with having that natural reaction. You can't help it, okay? It does not make you a bad vegan, not at all, okay? As long as you don't eat it or look for it or buy it, it's not a problem, okay? The way I explain it to some people, especially to non-vegans, because it helps them to understand, especially if in moments in the past where I've gone, oh, that smells really nice, and they go, oh, but you're vegan, you can't like the smell of that. Well, actually you can. I liken it to the vampires in Twilight. Okay, it's not my favourite film, but it's a useful comparison. Okay, the family of vampires that the story is based around, they had taken an ethical decision not to kill and exploit humans, and is very similar to the vegan decision not to kill, eat and exploit animals. Okay, we choose not to do it for whatever reason. For me it was an ethical reason, it might be a health or environmental one for you, but we've chosen not to do that, and it's a conscious choice rather than just a reaction. Like the vampires had made that conscious choice not to attack humans, not to kill humans, not to exploit them for their appetite. They'd found other ways to cope with it. And it's basically the same thing. They'd made an ethical decision. So they were like the ethical vegans of the vampire world, if you like. And I do find that using that explanation can really help people to understand where you're coming from and why it's okay to still, you might still like the smell of it. You might even still like the flavour, but you're not going to eat it because you've made a conscious decision not to, and that's okay. So if you are still having any kind of cravings, or you're smelling it and thinking, oh, that smells delicious, oh, I'm a bad vegan, that means I can't be vegan because I still like the smell of it, I still think I would like to eat some. No, it doesn't. You absolutely can be vegan, okay, as long as you stick to your morals, stick to what you've decided to do, stick to your new lifestyle and find plant-based alternatives to whatever it is you want to eat. Yes, you can still enjoy the smell. Okay, in due time you may find that you don't enjoy the smell so much. I mean, for me, certainly, I may enjoy the smell for a second and then I catch myself and go, oh yeah, but that's a dead cow. Oh, no, that's not for me. I couldn't do that. And because I've watched some of the slaughterhouse videos and I've watched Earthlings, that is a really good one if you're wavering at all about your veganism, or you just need a little bit of help to really firmly get the right mindset around it. Earthlings is a brilliant film to watch. Very distressing, I'm not going to lie. Very distressing to watch. I actually watched it with a support group of another couple of other people around the world. We all watched it together, and we had a support group, and we all met online afterwards to discuss it, to say how we felt and what our impressions were, and to sort of cry on each other's shoulders and give each other a bit of emotional support, because it is quite a harrowing watch. So yeah, for me these days, because I've done my research, I've learned about it, I've become stronger in my convictions, I know who I am, you know, I know I'm an ethical vegan, and I've watched the slaughterhouse footage, you know, to really imprint it properly, to get over those layers of conditioning that society imposes on us, and society conditions us to think that it's okay to do these things. I've sort of overcome my programming, if you like, by reprogramming myself by watching these slaughterhouse videos. You know, they have a place. They are very useful for that. They're not pleasant. I think I've watched enough now. I don't want to see any more. But they have a place in your transition to veganism, especially if you're doing it from an ethical point of view. And it helps me to remember earthlings. And I can always go back to it in my mind whenever I find myself thinking, oh, that smells nice. Maybe I could... No. Absolutely not. And I remember, you know, the footage of the cow being killed, or the poor little pig screaming, and I think, no, never again. I'm not doing that. Not doing that. You know, we have these little lapses, and it really helps to have those memories and to have seen it and understand why you're doing it and remember why you're doing it. And that keeps you on track, and, you know, that keeps you on the vegan path. It also helps to stop you falling off the bandwagon. So just want to say, if you are finding, you know, if you're worried at all and you're thinking, oh, I still like the smell of the food, I'm a bad vegan, I don't know if I'll be able to do it, you absolutely can do it, and you're okay. All right, this is completely normal. Most of us go through this. I'm not going to say all, because not everyone even likes meat. But yes, most of us go through that, and you wrestle with your conscience, and you work on yourself, and you overcome your social conditioning, and, you know, in due course it won't even bother you anymore. You know, you may smell it and think, yeah, I'm salivating, but, you know, that's a learned response. I'm not going to eat it. It's still a dead cow, you know, I still feel really sad about that. And in due course, it won't bother you anymore. So don't worry. You get through this phase. Keep going.